Today's Advent reading is Matthew chapter 2, verses 1 to 12. It's an opportunity to explore the Magi's perspective, the worship of the astrologers as they come to welcome that baby born King of the Jews. One problem of growing up with a huge familiarity with Bible stories, especially ones told through countless Sunday school classes, and in the case of the Christmas story, through countless nativity plays, is that the story grows whiskers. Rereading the Bible text can be variously disappointing, as much loved details are found to have little biblical foundation, or else surprises as you realize things were more challenging than they first appeared. Like the three wise men that most Christmas cards fixate on. Rather, the multiple magi, or to put it more idiomatically, the bunch of astrologers, star readers, that predicted from the stars the birth of a new king in Judah. Which raises multiple questions, but one thing is obvious, that God was evidently much at work somewhere in the middle of ancient Persia, present-day Iran. The myth that got busted for me in today's reading is that they evidently did not constantly follow a star as they rode their camels to Bethlehem. Did they even have camels? You know that classic nativity concept of wise men following the star that moved steadily through the night skies until it stopped over a house in Bethlehem. Now the text says clearly they saw the star in its rising and presumably carried out various calculations. They came up with a prediction that this meant a child had been born in the ethnic group known to them as the Jews, and that the child would be a great king. So they packed up the camel riding stuff, if they had camels, and headed for Jerusalem, which was the well-known capital of the Jewish people from ancient times. They knew that because their predecessors had first sacked Jerusalem in 586 BC, and then 70 years later given permission and resources under King Cyrus for it to be rebuilt. It's only after the exchange with Herod and Jerusalem's wise men that they realize that Bethlehem, not Jerusalem, is the likely birthplace, and so head for Bethlehem. And to their greatest joy, the star reappears. That's what verse 9 says. And it is their joy at seeing the star again that caught my attention. It was an affirmation of their faith, a glorious reminder that they were now back on track. For sure, they went on to meet the child and worship him and give him those precious gifts which undoubtedly enabled Joseph to take Mary and the child safely to Egypt and live there a couple of years. I mean, how else could a carpenter afford a 2-year vacation in Egypt? Unless, of course, they simply went as refugees. But the thought I've been reflecting on here is about the faith to keep following what you believe, even when the sky is dark and the guiding star no longer appears. How many weeks and months did the Magi ride in the darkness, just going on the basis of their predictions? And then there was the wrong turnings, especially the one that led them into Herod's lair, which sadly set up the deaths of multiple babies in Bethlehem. Herod was a fairly frightening character, as most powerful despots are. But the Magi didn't waver in their faith, and when the star reappeared just at the right moment to enable them to identify a specific house in Bethlehem, they jumped for joy. May we also keep faith with what God has revealed to us, and keep walking in that faith through the dark places. Christ's guiding star will reappear, and then we too will jump for joy, if, as the Hebrew New Testament writer says, we don't waver in our faith. Let's keep trusting, keep following what God has revealed to us, even if the starlight only occasionally appears.